Let me give a shout out to Blackjack20 for sending me the story, and this one hits close to home because this is coming out of Maryland. Now, I recently did a story about a woman who committed suicide when a bunch of charges were mounting up on her about sexual abuse of a child or a minor. And she committed suicide right in the same space in which the child that she was constantly seeing was at. And I've done so many stories about this in the past. And this one right here is no different. Now, this guy's name is Jonathan Newell, and he was 50 years old, and he was a judge. But this guy committed suicide this past Friday, which I believe was the 10th of September. I'm recording this on September 12th. And because he was about to be arrested on child sexual abuse charges. I keep telling you, like, they will do this crime, but they cannot find themselves to do the time. And mind you, this guy was a judge. This guy was over people's sentences and hearings and all types of stuff, and this is what he was doing to children. Now, I had gotten into a little bit of a back and forth on my previous video about the woman who did this to the child, and they tried to cake for her and saying, well, it could have been a mental thing. I want to know from the person who left that comment under that, are you going to say that this was a mental thing too? Because I highly doubt this is a mental issue. This is, I can't control my sexual urges around children issue. And I need to be dealt with accordingly. Unfortunately, he won't be dealt with accordingly because he took himself out like the coward that he is. So let's get into it. A Maryland state judge ended his life this Friday morning when federals showed up at his home to arrest him for alleged case of child sexual abuse. Jonathan Newell, a Caroline County Circuit judge, had been under investigation since July on allegations of having a hidden camera in which he captured naked children in his bathroom. In his bathroom? So what were these like? Were these kids family members? Whose kids was running into his bathroom? Just this Friday, when FBI agents were preparing to capture him at the door of his house, he was found suffering an apparent gunshot wound self-inflicted. The Maryland Federal Prosecutor's Office reported this Friday at 6:43 a.m. Maryland State Police lead investigation into apparent suicide, prosecutors said in a press release this Friday afternoon. For her part, Kimberly Keith, a Newell neighbor, had posted photos from her Facebook account showing FBI agents installed outside the defendant's home and demanded that he leave. He noted that he had heard the sounds of bullets and moments after an ambulance. At the time he took his life, Newell was going to be taken into custody on federal charges of sexual exploitation of a child, prosecutors pointed out, adding that the judge had been on leave of office since a first raid on his home on July 24th. According to a copy of the complaint, investigators have received a call reporting a minor who had found a video camera in the bathroom of Newell's cabin on Fishing Creek, Maryland. During the interview that the researchers conducted with two children, they revealed that they had last night with Newell on June 22nd, the date they had discovered a hidden camera. One of the children told investigators that undressing in the bathroom he had found on the camera was on in front of the shower inside of a small black box on a shelf located in the corner of the bathroom. According to the criminal complaint, the judge had shown a camera at the time he was investigated but didn't have the SD card. When in doubt, the researchers had taken Newell for a CT scan and found digital devices inside his body that revealed videos of minors showering, and the accused could be seen in some images placing the camera in the bathroom. That's crazy. So basically, to hide the evidence, this guy would eat them, swallow them, and then when they did the CT scan, they found them in his body, basically made him discharge it, and there's only one place you can do that, clean through that, and then watch. That is disgusting. According to the account of 7 other minors who were interviewed, Newell had searched their bodies with the justification of looking for ticks. Given all the evidence and the tragic outcome for the life of the accused, the Maryland judiciary had issued a statement in which they reported the sudden death of Caroline County Circuit Judge Jonathan Newell. The judiciary has no further details and cannot provide further comment. This man was sick. Like, he tried to hide the evidence the best way he can by eating it and swallowing it, and then hopefully they wouldn't be able to find it, but they did find it. So I want to know from that person again, was this a mental thing or what? Don't throw the cape. Never, ever throw the cape on someone who does something like this, ever. Not even with the mental art, because that's doing a disservice to the people who actually have mental health issues, who won't engage in this kind of activity. But this guy was absolutely sick, and he was a judge. But it doesn't surprise me, because a lot of these judges be excusing a lot of BS. Like, look at that judge, Aaron Persky, who's no longer a judge, thank God, who was willing to let that guy get off, or try to get him off, when he raped that Asian girl behind the dumpster a few years ago. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Brock Turner, that's his name. Now, I still can't get over what his dad said. How are you going to ruin my son's life for 20 minutes of pleasure? Still, he tried to downplay rape as pleasure. I will never forget those words. Ever. Those are going to be forever ingrained in my mind. Well, as far as I'm concerned, the trash took out the trash. That's how I see it. But it was still a cowardice way to go. It was still a very cowardice way to go. Instead of facing and owning up to his consequences like a man, he decided to take himself out like a little bitch. And anybody who does something like this, that I don't feel a damn thing for them at all. I already felt nothing for them anyway, considering the act that they committed. But now I really don't have, I lose all respect for you. From the act that you did all the way to you taking yourself out, instead of taking and dealing with the consequences while you're alive. And this right here was his admission of guilt. I don't care what anybody says. Y'all let me know what y'all think.